At a particular point, did you ever feel lost in who you were as a DP?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
like, I guess to kind of elaborate a little bit more onto what I'm referring to in my head, I think it's something that I'm working through is for the past year, year and a half, I felt like I was a very, um, I felt almost like a tool rather than a essential collaborator in certain
Mm-hmm.
projects where I wouldn't necessarily push to maybe put my own voice into something, maybe because I lacked the confidence in my own
Mm-hmm.
voice and lacked what my own voice even meant in this project in particular. So I would just kind of go along with what was presented to me,
Mm-hmm.
whether that be narrative or commercial. And I started looking at my work and realizing, like, what about this says Carlo shot this?
Yeah.
What about this says, like, oh, he has something in particular about his work? And I couldn't really, and maybe because I shot it, but I couldn't pinpoint anything about it that made me resonate with something like, oh, this is unique to him
Mm-hmm.
in a particular way. And, that could be some very subconscious thing that maybe I alone can't do, but it's just something that I feel um, and that I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out within myself.
No, I totally understand that. I think definitely, I've definitely had those periods. I think even in the last year, I think the last year with the strikes and the tumult in our industry, um, I don't even know. I guess it's a different thing of actually just like having the one of the slowest years of my
Yeah.
career. Um, and then also looking back at what I had shot in the like previous years, it's like, oh, I'm like there is an element of you can easily get down a path of being like, oh, this is not me. This is, but it's also not always also not always required. And I don't want to say that because I think we should insert ourselves into our work in as much of an authentic way as possible. Um, but I don't think you have to be so hard on yourself because it's not always what's asked for. It's not really you it's not always what's desired of you to do that and to do what you want to do, and I think that understanding that especially in the commercial work is just like it's okay. Like you can allow a piece
Be what it
to
is.
be what it is. And
Right.
but only I think if you have an outlet to explore what it is that you want to be doing and what it is you want to be saying. I think for me in this past few years, I think that was directing music videos, shooting and directing, and just kind of one man banding music videos for friends of mine, musician friends of mine, and people who I really care about, and just really getting back to the really real simplicity of collaboration and honestly those kind of projects are some of the ones that I really do feel like are the most me. And if someone was like, what is your work like, I often show them little tiny things that I directed and
Yeah.
shot and edited myself and just like crafted with a lot of care and time and I don't know how many people actually see this work, but as long as you do have a practice of creation that that is at least allowing you to explore what is meaningful to you, I think
Mm.
it's okay to let some of those other ones slide. And I think for me, as I was saying before, it's just like sometimes it's about the process as well, and sometimes the the experience of being on set and the process of creating, and also just the the navigation of a commercial set and a commercial world in that space is it's a bizarre thing to do as an artist. Like it's
Yeah.
not, and it's you can kind of have fun with it because it's not the an incubator for art. It's something else, and you can kind of get into it. It's like, okay, this is a weird experiment. This is fun. It's adventurous. There's all this stuff happening, but it's not necessarily going to be my art, and it's not gonna
Yeah.
it's not a place for that kind of discovery necessarily, although there's always stuff to be learned anywhere. But